If I had my way, everything would be so nice. This world would be like Paris. No, it would be a paradise. No one would ever have to say, I'm gonna get my wish someday. All one would have to do is say, this is my order, if you may.
Welcome to another episode of The School Without Walls. I'm the founder and host, Antony or Hobbs. Our program is designed primarily to reach the African American community, and we are concerned about young African American males primarily. We're encouraging the mentoring. We have quite a few ministers involved in mentoring young people. We're trying to prevent so many youngsters from going to prison and things of that nature. However, we also are presenting citizens here in the community who as role models. So I have today Mr. Don Scott with me. Glad to have you, Mr. Scott.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad
he's an excellent role model. I've known him, been acquainted at least for 30-some years, and he's been consistent in trying to be a positive influence in our community. Tell us let's give us a little bit of your background. I believe you were born here, weren't you?
Born here in Pine Bluff,
yeah,
that's
born
correct.
here in Pine Bluff, and about education, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Born here in Pine Bluff, educated in public schools here in Pine Bluff, Merrill High School, and then on to A&M for 3 years, and I happened to be a member of UAPB's first graduating class because the merger of A&M into the university system occurred in the 72-71 time period. And so this year, in fact, at homecoming, my class will be celebrating 40 years since we graduated. And we are UAPB's first graduating class.
How about
Not
that?
the first graduating class of the institution. But in fact, for our 25-year reunion, we walked and had a banner that said UAPB's first graduating class. And of course, we did have a couple of people who wanted to challenge that, and we said, read it. And so it was a good learning thing.
It is a fact. That's
it's
educational and it's historical.
That's correct. That's correct.
Excellent, excellent. And you married a local girl, did you?
Married a local lady. I grew up on the east side. She grew up on the north side, and we met at Merrill High School. And some point down the line, further down, became a couple and married and
children.
Had 3 kids, and 2 of the 3 are UAPB alum, and one attended school in Tallahassee, Florida A&M. So we've always been proponents and fans and supporters of the HBCU experience, but education more importantly than the HBCU experience. So she was a vital part of their lives and my life. And unfortunately, she is no longer with us, but she got a chance to see all 3 kids finish school and see the launch of what we'll talk about here today, which is the University Shop. That
is excellent. You may give their names if you like to, just for the record. This is part of this. Yeah, their names.
Lakita, firstborn, and then Shay, and then a son, Jason, who frequented UAPB TV quite a bit because he was active in student government, and I would have people consistently tell me, I see Jason on TV all the time. Of course, you know, he ate that up because he enjoys being in the limelight.
I understand you started off in the insurance business. Was that your first venture? Or did you do something prior to that?
Quite frankly, retail.
Retail?
And so I've kind of come full circle.
I see.
And so my first employment, full-time employment out of school, was the management training for Sears Roebuck and Company.
I see.
And so
you worked for Sears, right?
Worked for Sears initially in Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Virginia, that area, Tidewater area. And then subsequently assigned to department manager in Daytona Beach, Florida. And so we got a chance to be away from home for a while and grow as a family, 3 of us initially, and then as a couple, and get some exposure, and then eventually be guided and move back to Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
I encourage that. We encourage that young people that are born in an area get out and see some of the world.
Absolutely.
And eventually come back and try to contribute to the community.
Absolutely.
Now, when I first met you, you had a small space in Sears and had a Allstate insurance booth.
That is correct. Correct. I transitioned from working in retail with Sears to working for Allstate there in the same building at 912 West 6th Street, the old Sears building, and eventually spent around 30 years working for Allstate Insurance. And during that time, felt a calling, need, opportunity to experiment with something that's offering UAPB paraphernalia.
How's that going?
It's going well. In fact, the genesis of the business actually started because of that middle child who didn't go to UAPB, attended Florida A&M. And I got a chance to see, she cheered her first year as a Rattler, Florida A&M Rattlers. And in Tallahassee, you could buy Florida A&M paraphernalia at Walgreens, Target, JCP, most of the retailers. And so she started school at Florida A&M in 1996. So the university shop was not launched in 96, it was launched in 99. But the seed was actually planted in 1996 when Shay started attending Florida A&M College.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, what could you say, we have about 1 minute, we're going to wrap up this section. In 1 minute, what could you say to young people about entrepreneurship?
Oh, I can say follow your passion, pay attention to trends, don't be afraid to do something different, and don't be afraid to take risks.
Let's stop on that note. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Anthony Fernando, a veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan. I'm also a graduate of UAPB. I'm currently enrolled in the Master of Science in Aquaculture Fisheries program. Thanks to my mentor, Dr. Eggleton, I'm acquiring unique skills needed for future employment.
Since coming to University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, Tony has been involved in a wide range of undergraduate research. Some of this research he plans to publish later this year. UAPB prepares its students for these types of opportunities every day.
UAPB is preparing me.
Those of you who have just joined us, I'm Antonio Hobbs, host and founder of this educational program. My guest today is Mr. Don Scott, who's the owner of, what is the name of your?
The University Shop.
The University Shop.
That's correct.
All right, we were talking about entrepreneurship, and you mentioned several things, but I remember the fear. You said, don't fear, you follow your passion. And I think that's very key. I always believe that if you have a passion for something, that's a God-given talent that you have for it. And if you follow that, you would be successful rather than trying to do like brother, daddy, or somebody else,
True.
right?
True.
So we want you to understand, young people, that college degrees are fine, but all people are not college material, right?
Correct.
But that does not mean that they cannot be successful in life. We encourage them to go into what they call trade schools and things of that nature. But the main thing is follow your passion.
Sure.
Right? Yeah, follow your passion. All right, let's talk more about your business.
Sure.
Tell us what you have to offer. What are some of the things we can find in your store?
Well, the business started in 1999 as a experiment selling just UAPB paraphernalia. And the business at that time was named Lion Apparel. Most universities trademark their name and also their merchandise. Well, UAPB owns the name Golden Lions. And so through some thinking, meditation, sort of, I was trying to think of a name for the business, and the idea popped in my head, Lion Apparel. And UAPB does not own the name Lion. They own Golden Lion, but not the name Lion. So we incorporated that into our name, and it was called Lion Apparel. And so we wanted a distinct identity that this is where you come to buy quality UAPB merchandise. And
you have only UAPB merchandise in the store?
No, that's the key part is that as we experimented with the UAPB part, we were well received, but I initially started to do it seasonally during football season. And so we sold UAPB and just a small amount of Greek just to experiment. Well, I wanted to stop doing it just seasonally and do it year round. And I talked to my wife and I said, I'm either going to get out of it or we're going to expand and do it year round. And so we sought a location that would allow us to sell Greek and offer Razorback paraphernalia. And in so doing, at that point, we also needed a name that expanded what we were doing. And again, and I just don't want to get too mystical with people, but again, through thinking, meditating, I was trying to think of a name for the business. And one day, idea popped in my little brain, the University Shop.
The University Shop.
I spoke with an attorney about incorporating, and we found that no place here in Arkansas had that name, so we incorporated as the University Shop. And we have fun now with people who will call me at home, which is fine, or they used to call my insurance office and say, I can't find your business in the phone book. And they look in the U's, and the business is not in the U's because the business is called the University Shop.
Start with the.
It's in the T's.
That's a good one.
So that's
University Shop.
It is called the University Shop.
I'll tell you something else.
It's in the T's.
Randy, how much more time do we have here? We have about 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Look, I wondered about the University Shop as you mentioned that now. I'll tell you what came to mind. Now, university could refer to this school. Then it could refer to that which is universal. Which did you have in mind, or did you have both of those? So universal means everywhere.
No, I mean, it's called the University Shop because the idea was to open it up so that we certainly were going to carry and focus on Razorback and UAPB.
Right.
With a greater emphasis on UAPB, of course, which is still where we are today.
Right.
And so, but it opens us up that myself or the next owner of this business can take it to another level and offer, as we do, we have LSU items, and we're probably going to expand on that because of demand, quite frankly.
We have about 1 minute.
And also ASU. And so it's called the University Shop because we want to be able to offer
things
it
universally.
All.
That's what I had reference to. You see, the university could mean the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, or it could be everywhere, other things. See, universal would be the University Shop, would be what we just said. You could expand and expand and expand and still be within that name.
But I want to be clear also and say that the genesis of this business comes from the fact that when I opened the business in 1999, I had never, ever worn anybody's paraphernalia other than UAPB.
Right.
In fact, when the National Basketball Championship was won, I didn't own the business, but everybody in my house got a National Championship Razorback shirt. And for some reason, I just didn't and couldn't. And as you see me here today, it's natural for me to wear black and gold because I've worn it all my life.
I can understand it. Let us stop on that. I feel the same way because I'm a graduate of AM and N. Okay.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
Hello, my name is Latasha Cole, recent graduate of the University of Arkansas in Pine Bluff with a degree in Regulatory Science, Industrial Health, and Safety. I thought I'd be looking for a job right now, but with the help of my mentor, Alicia Farmer, and Career Services, I was able to land a position as a seed quality supervisor after training.
As a single mother, Latasha's motivation and determination helped her to earn 2 internships while on campus. UAPB can help prepare students like Latasha for the same opportunities.
UAPB prepared me.
Those of you who've just joined us, I'm Antony Hobbs, host of this television program called The School Without Walls, and my guest is Mr. Terence Mitchner, who's a businessman here in the community, and glad to have you with us.
Good to be here.
What I'd like for you to do is tell us a little bit about your background, where you were born and educated, and then your family, things of that nature.
Well, I'm a Pine Bluff boy. I've been here all my life. I was actually born here. I attended high school at Watson Chapel, and I graduated high school in 1997. And shortly after that, I enrolled at UAPB, and I graduated, pretty much finished up my degree program in 2009.
What was that area?
It was early childhood education.
Okay.
And then after I graduated from school, I went through all the way through my college. I was actually working at Staples, the office supply store here in town. And I think that's where I first met you at. Working at Staples. But I worked there about 10 years, and in 2009, I ended my employment with Staples, and I started working for the state of Arkansas. And I've been working with the employment office here in town. And then even around that time, I started, me and my wife both started our business, the one that's located in the Pines Mall. We started Jack and Jill Celebrations, and we started that roughly around 2010 or so.
What does that entail, Jack and Jill's Celebration?
Yes,
tell us about it.
When we first opened up the business in 2010, it was called Jack and Jill Celebration. So what we primarily did, we were located in Whitehall, Arkansas, which is right down the street from Pine Bluff. And what we did out there, we celebrated birthday parties. And so families were bringing the kids in. We have birthday parties. And the kids
would have the parties on the site?
Yes, sir. We had a facility roughly about 1,000 square feet. And so they would come in, and we would have birthday parties, themed birthday parties. We specialized in costume characters. We did, the kids did dress up, we did games, did activities with the kids. So we did that in roughly 2010. And here within the last, last year, 2012 is when we moved out to the mall. And that's when it became Jack and Jill Fun Zone. And we incorporated the Fun Zone area because now instead of just doing the celebrating with just dressing up and costume characters, we incorporated inflatables. We have inflatables, we got arcade games, we got video games, so it's actually expanded out, got more space and a whole lot more fun.
You mentioned something about dressing up and what?
Well, with the kids, when we were selling Jack and Jill Celebrations in Whitehall, the kids actually had like themed costumes. They might dress up like a pirate, might dress up like a princess.
You dressed them
the kids did.
You
Yes,
had the material for that. You made the costumes or something.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we had costumes, and the kids would dress up, and they'd spend at the birthday party dressed up like if they wanted to be a pirate, they wanted to be a princess, they wanted to be a superhero. I mean, that's what we did when we were Jack and Jill Celebration.
I see. Now, where did that idea come from, you or your wife, or did you see it somewhere else and just duplicated that?
Well, actually, my wife, she was, I think she was one of the ones that kind of did more research than I did. So she's actually, I think, been to a couple birthday parties that they incorporated that. And that was one of the things. She enjoyed that type of celebrating with the children. So that's what we incorporated into our business. And like I said, when we first started, that was a big thing. The families enjoyed it, the kids enjoyed it, and so that's how we came about it.
I see. That sounds very interesting. Now, I assume the economic aspect, you would charge them so much for so many hours. To explain how you would market that.
Well, when we first opened up, I mean, there was just a set fee. You had anywhere from 12 to 15 children. They came in, and we provided the facility. We provided the costumes, and if there was a costume character involved, that all would come incorporated with that. And so all that set fee that you would pay, we just host a party. We took great pride in providing customer service. Having a clean facility, making sure that the parents were comfortable, making sure that the children was comfortable as well.
Could you do more than one in an afternoon or so many hours? How did you have that set up?
Yeah, when we first opened up, pretty much from 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock, that's when we did our operation of business. So what we would do, most of the parties ran anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I mean, there were some Saturdays when we were doing anywhere from maybe 4 or 5 parties, and we did them from an hour and a half, 2 hours, and kind of incorporated into that day.
You still have it set up similar to that now?
Yes, sir. Now that we're located in the Pines Mall, we pretty much have the same setup. They pretty much, the set fee is set. Parties run anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours. We can do private parties. We can do open to the public parties. And just come in. And they bounce for a little while. They play video games. We provide the tokens, and people are really enjoying it.
That's wonderful. Now, you didn't mention your wife's name. What is her name? And I think you have children, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is her name?
My wife, my business partner is Tanya Mitchner. And, we have 3 children. My oldest daughter, she's Jaden. She's 13. I have a middle child. Her name is Destiny, and she's 10. And then we have our smallest, youngest daughter, Trinity, and she's 6 years of age.
I see. Where are they in school?
Everybody is in the Washington School District.
I see. You live in that. Well, certainly you live in the area, I assume,
yes, sir.
Because you don't have to live in the areas now, do you?
I think things have changed now.
Okay, I heard a riddle. Thank you. We have about a couple more minutes. Okay. Let's see. Now, once we go to the mall, direct me to your business. How will we find it? I know coming in the front door.
Okay. Well, actually, when you're coming to the mall, probably the best way to get to us. I mean, if you're familiar with the movie theater is, you can actually walk through that way and make a sharp right as soon as you get to the middle quarter, and you'll run right into Jack and Jill Fun Zone and Party Pizzazz. We're located right beside each other.
I see. I think I can picture that. You go past the theaters.
Yes.
And once you get to the opening there, you turn right?
Yes, sir. And that's if you're familiar with the Pines Mall, they have that the attraction has been there for years, the Big Fish.
Something in the center there.
It's called the Big Fish.
Near that little eating place over
Yes,
there?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So the Big Fish is there, and we're right there to the right of it. So, me and my wife, we both own. We own Jack and Jill Fun Zone and Party Pizzazz, and those businesses are located right beside each other.
I think I've seen that. We have 1 minute. Seemed like you. One day I was out there. You had something. That youngster could crawl up, go up under or something like that.
Yeah, that's the Big Fish. That's right there.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, look, time is running down on us. Anything else you want to say right quick before we close down here?
Well, we just want to invite everybody to come out to the Pines Mall. And like Mr. Green said and Mr. Dunn said, the Pines Mall, it is under new leadership. It is growing. Foot traffic is increasing. And it's a good place to be. I mean, I've seen foot traffic increase. We've had customers in our place of business from all over the place. With Jack and Jill Fun Zone, we offer inflatables, video games, arcade systems, birthday parties. So there's something that's really big in this area because we're the only facility like this in this area. And then with Party Pizzazz, it's our party decorating supply store. So we do balloons, we do decorations, anything dealing with baby showers, weddings.
Do you leave your facility to go to a private home to do anything like that?
Well, like I said, when we first opened up in business, we were doing some of that, but now since we're pretty much Jack and Jill Fun Zone, we pretty much just located. Yes, sir.
Okay, well look, let's stop on that note. Glad to have you, and may the business continue to grow.
Yes, sir. Thank you.